Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. It was the upset nobody saw coming, the match that shocked the world, and the storyline that will be remembered for years in tennis. History: Jessica Pegula, the world number 3 and one of the most consistent American players on the WTA Tour, has been sensationally knocked out of the 2025 French Open by a player ranked a stunning 361st in the world, Loïs Boisson. What makes this even more astonishing is not just the ranking gap or the high-stakes environment of a fourth-round Grand Slam clash, but the fact that Boisson, a 21-year-old wildcard from France, had never played in a Grand Slam main draw before, and yet, in one of the most dramatic and emotional matches of this year's tournament, she pulled off a comeback win that sent shockwaves through the tennis community. But that's just the beginning of this incredible tale from Roland Garros. Let's start with Jessica Pegula. Coming into the 2025 French Open, Pegula was a favorite to go deep. Her consistency, court IQ, and experience were expected to carry her at least to the semi-finals, if not beyond. Pegula has been a rock in American tennis, especially after Serena Williams' retirement, often carrying the hopes of the nation at major tournaments. Her early rounds were solid. Nothing flashy, but exactly what we've come to expect from her. Poised, professional, clinical. But then came Loïs Boisson, a player most tennis fans hadn't even heard of before this week. Boisson's journey is nothing short of miraculous. Just over a year ago, she was sidelined with a torn ACL, an injury that often derails careers, especially for young players just finding their footing on the professional circuit. She was off the radar, out of the rankings, and in rehabilitation. But Boisson didn't quit. Her comeback was quiet, largely ignored by the media, but she kept pushing. And when the French Tennis Federation gave her a wild card to play in her home slam, few expected her to make it past the first round. But Boisson defied every expectation, round after round. She played with freedom, with joy, with an intensity and grit that can't be taught. Against Pegula, after losing the first set 3-6, she found another gear, rallying from behind to take the next 2 sets 6-4, 60-4. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement. The crowd at Court Simon Mathieu was electric. Every point Boisson won was met with thunderous applause. She fed off that energy and used it to break down Pegula's rhythm. It was clear Pegula was rattled. Her footwork looked tight, her serve lacked punch, and her usually reliable ground strokes started leaking errors. In contrast, Boisson looked fearless. She wasn't just reacting, she was dictating points, painting lines, chasing down every ball. Her tears after match points said it all. This wasn't just a win. It was the culmination of a year of pain, doubt, and recovery. And now, she's the lowest-ranked player in over 40 years to reach the French Open quarterfinals. Let that sink in. Ranked number 361 in the world, lower than some players still playing in ITF-level events, Loïs Boisson has become the breakout star of the French Open. Her name is now etched into the annals of Roland Garros, alongside the likes of Rafael Nadal, Justine Henin, and other legends who made Paris their proving ground. What happens next for her is anyone's guess. The pressure, the spotlight, and the emotional toll of this run will test her resilience. But for now, she's basking in the magic of the moment, and the tennis world is embracing her with open arms. On the other side of the draw, the American contingent still has reason to celebrate, thanks to 2 other stars who are shining bright in Paris, Coco Gauff and Madison Keys. Both women have booked their spots in the quarterfinals in dominant fashion, and now they're set to face off in a blockbuster all-American showdown that promises fireworks. Let's talk Coco Gauff first. At just 21 years old, Gauff is already a Grand Slam champion, having won the US Open 2 years ago. But clay has always presented unique challenges for her. The slower surface demands patience, tactical variety, and stamina. In the past, her French Open campaigns have ended in frustration, often because of inconsistencies in her forehand. But this year, she looks like a woman on a mission. Her fourth-round win over Ekaterina Alexandrova was clinical, a 6-0, 7-5 victory that saw her dominate early and then hold her nerve when it mattered most. Gauff's movement, her ability to slide into her shots, and her improved serve have all come together at the right time. What's more impressive is how mentally composed she's been. Even in tight moments, she's remained calm, focused, and aggressive. Then there's Madison Keys, the big-hitting, fearless baseliner, who has always been a threat on any surface. Keys is often labelled as a dark horse at Grand Slams, and she's proving why in Paris this year. Her 6-3, 7-5 win over fellow American Hailey Baptiste was another display of controlled aggression. When Keys is on, there are few players who can handle the pace she generates, and on this clay surface, she's found a way to mix in more topspin and better point construction. What makes the upcoming match against Gauff so compelling is the contrast in their styles. Gauff's speed and consistency versus Keys' power and precision. And let's not forget, both women know what's at stake: a place in the French Open semi-finals, and the pride of being the last American standing in the draw. This quarterfinal will also be a mental battle. Gauff has the momentum and the major title under her belt, but Keys has experience and the kind of fearless game that can derail even the most tactical opponents. Fans are already buzzing about this clash, and social media is full of predictions, analysis, and excitement. It's the kind of match that could go the distance. 3 sets, multiple momentum swings, and maybe even some tears. One thing's for sure, it's going to be a match to remember. But back to Jessica Pegula. Where does she go from here? This loss is undoubtedly a tough pill to swallow. Pegula is known for her professionalism and grace, and she handled the post-match press conference with her usual dignity, congratulating Boisson and reflecting on the need to learn from the defeat. Still, questions will be asked about her preparation, her tactics, and her ability to perform in the later stages of slams. Critics have long debated whether Pegula has what it takes to win a major, and losses like this will only fuel that narrative. But it's also important to remember that tennis careers are marathons, not sprints. Pegula has the tools, the mindset, and the support team to bounce back. And perhaps this loss will spark a deeper hunger in her heading into Wimbledon and the US hardcourt swing. And what about Loïs Boisson? How far can she go? Her quarterfinal opponent hasn't been announced yet at the time of this video, but whoever it is, they'll be facing a player riding the wave of destiny. Boisson will have the crowd, the momentum, and a fearless mentality on her side. She's playing with house money now. No expectations, no pressure, just pure passion. Her rise is a reminder that in tennis, anything can happen. Rankings don't always define talent or heart, and sometimes the most beautiful stories come from the unlikeliest heroes. Meanwhile, Roland Garros continues to deliver drama, magic, and unforgettable moments. From the roaring Parisian crowds to the players chasing glory on the red clay, the 2025 French Open is shaping up to be one of the most thrilling editions in recent memory. We'll be keeping a close eye on Gauff versus Keys, on Boisson's next chapter, and on how the tournament unfolds from here. Whether you're a lifelong tennis fan or just tuning in for the drama, this year's French Open has something for everyone. Triumph, heartbreak, comebacks, and history being made right before our eyes. And here at Daily Gossip, we'll be following every twist and turn, every point and press conference, every tear and celebration. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any updates, emotional interviews, or shock upsets as the road to the Roland Garros final continues. And if you were inspired by Loïs Boisson's story, the journey from injury and obscurity to center stage in one of the most prestigious tournaments in the world, don't forget to leave a comment below and tell us who you're rooting for in the quarterfinals. That's it for today's update. From Pegula's heartbreak to Boisson's rise, from Gauff's confidence to Key's firepower, this French Open is delivering tennis at its finest. Thanks for watching Daily Gossip. See you in the next video.